Eliphaz now gives Job some good advice. This is from Job 22, verses 25 through 27. And if the Almighty is your gold and your precious silver, then you will delight in the Almighty and lift up your face to God. You will pray to him, and he will hear you, and you will pay your vows. So Job needs to pay his vows for being afflicted for no reason. He responds in chapter 23, verses 3 through 7 in this way. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his dwelling. I would lay my case before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would learn what he would answer me and understand what he would say to me. Would he contend with me in the greatness of his power? No, but he would give heed to me. There an upright person could reason with him, and I should be acquitted forever by my judge. So he's saying that God deliberately avoiding him and gaining a little confidence that his own personal integrity would vindicate him. This is from verses 8 through 9 of the same chapter. If I go forward, he is not there, or backward, I cannot perceive him. On the left he hides, and I cannot behold him. I turn to the right, but I cannot see him. Verses 13 through 15. But he stands alone, and who can dissuade him? What he desires, that he does. For he will complete what he appoints for me, and many such things are in his mind. Therefore I am terrified at his presence. When I consider, I am in dread of him. So Job is afraid of God because he knows that God is going to do whatever he wants. This is from chapter 26, verses 12 through 14. It's ascribed to Job, but it makes more sense coming from Bildad. He now starts asserting God's power. He's running out of arguments here. By his power, he stilled the sea. By his understanding, he struck down Rahab. So he's bringing up the primeval chaos monsters now. By his wind, the heavens were made fair. His hand pierced the fleeing serpent. These are indeed but the outskirts of his ways, and how small of a whisper do we hear of him. But the thunder of his power, who can understand? So Job is just supposed to take things the way they are because he's just not going to be able to understand. He's just too feeble. But Job has this to say in verses 1 through 6 of chapter 27. Job again took up his discourse and said, As God lives, who has taken away my right, and the Almighty who has made my soul bitter, as long as my breath is in me and the Spirit of God is in my nostrils, my lips will not speak falsehood, and my tongue will not utter deceit. Far be it from me to say that you are right. Until I die, I will not put away my integrity from me. I hold fast my righteousness and will not let it go. My heart does not reproach me for any of my days. So he's saying, I am not going to speak falsehood and utter deceit by capitulating to what these people are telling me to do. I have my integrity, I have my principles, and they are my principles. They have not been dictated to me by this God who has decided to take everything away from me for no reason. This is from Job 28:28. There's a little bit of an aside in this book, and it has this to say about how to obtain wisdom. And he said to humankind, truly the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. So the proper response in order to obtain wisdom is fear. Job has this to say in chapter 30. This is from verses 23 through 26. I know that you will bring me to death and to the house appointed for all living. But when I looked for good, evil came, and when I waited for light, darkness came. Job knows that this system of divine retribution that his friends have been talking about does not apply here, because his good has been repaid with evil that is not supposed to happen. The system is busted. He goes on in chapter 31, verses 35 through 37. Oh, that I had one to hear me. Here is my signature. Let the Almighty answer me. Oh, that I had the indictment written by my adversary. The Satan, who got allowed to do what he did. Surely I would carry it on my shoulder. I would bind it on me like a crown. I would give him an account of all my steps. Like a prince, I would approach him. Now, Job starts getting browbeaten by Elihu several times here. This is from chapter 32, verse 8. But truly it is the spirit in a mortal, the breath of the Almighty that makes for understanding. So, Job, the only way you're going to get understanding is it from God. This is the only way you're going to get it. You are just not understanding things because you're just a mortal. This is from verses 12 through 14 of chapter 33. But in this you are not right. I will answer you. God is greater than any mortal. Why do you contend against him, saying, he will answer none of my words? For God speaks in one way and in two, though people do not perceive it. So God may be speaking to you, Job. He just may not have allowed you to understand. This is from verses 10 through 17 and verses 21 through 22 of chapter 34. Therefore hear me, you who have sense. Far be it from God that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty that he should do wrong. Really, I think that Elihu here is doing exactly what his friends did, and being biased on the behalf of God, and speaking an untruth here, as we will find out. For according to their deeds he will repay them, and according to their ways he will make it befall them. Of a truth, God will not do wickedly, and the Almighty will not pervert justice. Who gave him charge over the earth, and who laid on him the whole world? If he should take back his spirit to himself, and gather to himself his breath, all flesh would perish together, and all mortals return to dust. So, because he did it all, he can just go and take it all away. So, just deal with it. If you have understanding, hear this. Listen to what I say. Shall one who hates justice govern? So, because Job is questioning God's justice, he hates justice, period. For his eyes are upon the ways of mortals, and he sees all their steps. Again, they're not answering Job's question of why God is so concerned about every single step these little mortals are making. Just because. There is no gloom or deep darkness where evildoers may hide themselves. So, again, it's just Elihu, he just has to reiterate over and over that, yes, God will punish the evildoers. This is from verses 5 through 8 of chapter 35, as well as verses 12 through 16. Elihu is on a roll here. Look at the heavens and see. Observe the clouds which are higher than you. If you have sinned, what do you accomplish against him? And if your transgressions are multiplied, what do you do to him? If you are righteous, what do you give to him? Or what does he receive from your hand? Your wickedness affects others like you, and your righteousness other human beings. If these deeds and misdeeds don't affect God, then why does he care so much? There they cry out, but he does not answer because of the pride of evildoers. So, evildoers don't deserve to hear an answer from God. Surely God does not hear an empty cry, nor does the Almighty regard it. How much less when you say that you do not see him, that the case is before him and you are waiting for him. And now, because his anger does not punish, and he does not greatly heed transgression, Job opens his mouth in empty talk. He multiplies words without knowledge. So, because Job is not buying into the system that these friends are continuing to be pushing, he doesn't deserve the answers he wants. This is from verses 5 and 6, 13 and 14, 22 through 24 of Job 36. Surely God is mighty and does not despise any. He is mighty in strength of understanding. He does not keep the wicked alive, but gives the afflicted their right. He does not despise any, but he does not keep the wicked alive. Okay. The godless in heart cherish anger. They do not cry for help when he binds them. They die in their youth, and their life ends in shame. So he doesn't despise them. He just causes them to die prematurely. See, God is exalted in his power. Who is a teacher like him? Who has prescribed for him his way? Or who can say, you have done wrong? Remember to extol his work, of which mortals have sung. So, Job, who are you to tell God that he's wrong? Remember to thank him for it. And then Job finally hears from God. And this is like a 4-chapter long cosmic temper tantrum. I may put this in a separate video just because I think it would be fun to read. But basically, you get God responding it like, I'm the juggernaut, bitch. This is from verses 1 through 9 of Job 40. So after we've had a couple of chapters of God just asserting his power. And the Lord said to Job, shall a fault finder contend with the Almighty? Anyone who argues with God must respond. Then Job answered the Lord, see, I am of small account. What shall I answer you? I lay my hand on my mouth. I have spoken once, and I will not answer, twice, but will proceed no further. Job knows that God hadn't answered any of his questions. He really hasn't responded to the case that he's presented at all, other than basically just badgering him. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind, gird up your loins like a man. I will question you, and you declare to me. Will you even put me in the wrong? Will you condemn me that you may be justified? Have you an arm like God, and can you thunder with a voice like his? It's like, who the hell do you think you are? Until you can do what I do, shut up. And this is Job's last response in verses 1 through 7 of chapter 42. Then Job answered the Lord, I know that you can do all things, and that no purpose of yours can be thwarted. You can say that again. God can just do whatever the hell he wants because he can. Who is this that hides counsel without knowledge? Therefore I have uttered what I did not understand, things too wonderful for me, which I did not know. Hear, and I will speak. I will question you, and you declare to me. I had heard of you by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye sees you. Therefore I despise myself, and I repent in dust and ashes. Job sees that this is now totally pointless. So to me, it seems like this is almost a sarcastic response to, the cosmic dick measuring contest that we've just gone through. After the Lord had spoken these words to Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, my wrath is kindled against you and against your 2 friends, for you have not spoken of me what is right, as my servant Job has. Job's right. There is no cosmic sense of justice here, and there doesn't need to be, because God can just do whatever he wants because he's more powerful than you. Then there came to him all his brothers and sisters and all who had known him before, and they ate bread with him in his house. They showed him sympathy and comforted him for all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. So Elihu, you're talking shit. So who comes out of this bout the victor? I wonder. Thank you, Wise Monkey, for the tag. I apologize that I couldn't condense my thoughts any further. I will talk to you later.